It looks like we got our first person in tonight. Starting off here with our 10-minute countdown to showtime for Shop Talk. I want to welcome everybody. Beautiful Sunday. Had some great riding today, and we're going to get going here real quick. I want to welcome everybody in from Choppertown, from the Cycle Source Network. Thank you guys for joining us this Sunday evening. Great show coming up. Thanks to everybody. Troy, Edward checking in, Mike Drake already right on, Cincinnati in the house. Glad to see you here, Mike. We'll be with you shortly, just a little over 8 minutes, and we go live. Looks like we got a somewhat full house tonight. You guys are packing in on social media already. We appreciate it. Just over 5 minutes, we're going live with Shop Talk. I want to welcome everybody here from Choppertown, the Cycle Source Network. A couple more minutes to go, and we're going to get the show on the road. Stick around. We're coming up live with Shop Talk. Love seeing all the temperatures from around the country, man. You guys are killing me with that. We got our first good ride in Pennsylvania here today. Yeah, Steve Burrow's looking for the swap this morning. We're going to have news about that. It's coming up next Sunday for sure. We got everything ready to go. Stick around tonight on Shop Talk. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, a lot of news happening here in the studio. A lot of new stuff getting ready to hit the screen. So don't miss a minute of it. 4 minutes. Just 4 minutes away. Stick around. It's awesome. All right, with just 4 minutes left, it looks like we got a ton of you guys in the house. The social media lines are on fire tonight. I can't wait for this episode of Shop Talk. So it looks like it's about that time. We're going to back this big bitch into a parking spot, throw it down on the kickstand, get ready for an episode of Shop Talk. Scooter Tramps and Chopper Jockeys. It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk, and man, do we got a cool show for you. It's going to be awesome tonight, in spite of the fact, and you might find this odd, I know it was hard for me to believe, in all of our news services tonight, getting ready for the show, we found one piece of motorcycle news. That's how much is not going on in the world right now, according to motorcycles, but we're still here. We got a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Chris Callen, in the Dennis Kirk studio, bringing you another episode, joined by my cohorts in crime. What's up, crew?
Howdy, howdy.
Hey.
Okay,
What's
so
shaking?
you know, we can't seem to get this three host thing right, no matter what we do.
I didn't do anything. I said hi like I was supposed to.
I'm perfect. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You're perfectly here. That's awesome.
Right?
Oh, that's right. I made it. 20 minutes
So-
ago, I was going to sleep.
No news is good news, right?
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
For a minute.
I don't know. I think in this case, no. I don't know.
It's kind of freaky, man. Really,
It
to tell you the
is.
truth. I mean,
Like, and the one piece of news I did find, now mind you, I get like 3,532 Google alerts a day. But the one piece of news was like,
yeah.
As long as it wasn't another move in the Harley Davidson chain. You
No.
know what I mean?
Jesus.
Sweet Jesus, I've had enough of that.
Right.
no.
Now they just got to do something at this point, you know? They've moved them all around.
We have all sorts of people here watching
Yeah, why don't we
tonight.
take a little run around social media?
All right, let's see. Pittsburgh's in the house with Tom Banks and Tim Kearns. Rebecca Finney, Hickory, North Carolina. Butch Sims, Alaska. He's a gold miner. I've been having a little
I
conversation
know.
here. He says it was
I'm in.
80 today in Fairbanks.
I can
That's
do it.
awesome. James Emmer from Colorado is
you
here.
You could do gold mining. Have you watched that program at
No,
all?
he is a.
No,
Huh?
that's not what I said.
No,
Did
me.
you say that?
Yeah, no, me.
Oh.
I'd be all up in that. Flip wants to do it.
Let's see. Roger Hogg here. Chris No is here. Rob
What's up, Chris?
Hi,
Nussbaum.
Rose.
Eric Overton from Twin Lakes, Wisconsin. Tommy Gallia from Tennessee. Chad Silverstone, British Columbia. Somebody from Saskatchewan. I just wanted to say Saskatchewan.
Butch Sims, winner out of Fairbanks, talking about the Northern Lights, most awesome Northern Lights in America.
I have to. It's
Dude.
on my
Something
bucket
I've always
list. I
wanted
have
see.
to go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I have to go. Long Island, Dennis Frame, local 282.
282 in the house
282
again.
in the
Brian
house.
Clock, get out of here.
Brian Clock.
Nice.
What's up, Brian?
Right. What a nice surprise. Dennis Stauber, Karen Moore. Karen, are you guys going to give us the lowdown on your chill show pretty soon here?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
What's up?
So, you know, unofficially, that's one thing for us to lead off with
What's up?
tonight, is the fact that unofficially motorcycle events are starting to unofficially run again.
Unofficial. You said
There's
unofficial.
Yeah, if you
unofficially,
guys know of any
there's-
underground motorcycle events,
Leave
Any
it,
drop me a
motorcycle
DM.
raves?
leave it to the bikers, you know. Hey, the old one finger salute, and we're gonna do what the hell we want. That's why I love this shit.
Greg
It really
Blatt from
is.
Hard Drive.
Nice.
Oh, right on.
Greg, thank you for tuning in. Right on. But yeah, we're looking for underground motorcycle events. Drop a
We're
DM.
jonesing.
We're jonesing.
We're jonesing, dude.
What about you? Let's talk about your day today, because you were actually in the garage. I'm jealous.
I'm in the garage 2 days.
I
You can walk
know.
through it. Did you see that?
I did.
I actually walked
I
through the
did.
garage today. I was able to put a vehicle on the lift. It was a good.
Okay, I just have to say this. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. How do you say that 5 times fast?
I don't know,
This is like where
that's
you grew up.
Lucas Isaiah Miro.
So when he gets pulled over, all they do is say, "Hey, where do you live?" And if he screws that up, they know.
Yeah, that's
Busted.
You know, I mean, if you're from there and you fuck that up, there's something going on.
That is like where I grew up.
It
I
is.
grew up on Nissitissit Lane in Pepperell, Massachusetts.
Can you imagine like that kid
8
in
years
school?
old trying to write my
Yeah,
address.
Jesus.
Yeah, it took me till like 9th grade to figure out how to spell my last name. But yeah, I would have had some issues with that. So I was still screwing that up.
Oh my
I'm in
God.
trouble now sometimes, but that's beside. There's other reasons. For
Brian Clock. Wait a minute. Brian's getting like, he's only got like a month and a half left. How excited are you? There's going to be a new little clock.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
That's so exciting,
Pitter
Brian.
patter, little feet. That's always awesome though. So.
I know. Especially when it's somebody else's.
Yeah, right. We can send it back. Yeah. Dana's visiting her grandchildren this weekend, and I was laughing. I said, "Hey, what, you kill anybody yet?" She's been there one day. So, you kill anyone yet?
Oh, so let's talk for a minute about stuff that we have going on in the garage, because we have the Something Wicked shovel head completely torn apart.
I'm very sad.
We're re-clearing that. The Twisted T-Dozer that you guys watched us build most of the way through Daytona, we actually have it back apart. We're redoing some of the paint on it. We're gonna fix a couple things. We're adding some new stuff in, so you'll definitely want to look out for that.
Yeah, we're starting out like Monday, huh?
I know, tomorrow.
Come on,
That's tomorrow.
back
I think
to work,
maybe
Johnny.
you should do
Back to
something
work.
wicked first, which I know is
I think we're gonna
completely
do-
irresponsible.
I cannot believe you just said that. I
but
cannot
it-
believe you just told me to do something for ourselves and not for
I
responsibility's
openly
sake.
admitted that it was completely
Yeah, but
irresponsible.
the nice part about that is we could probably pull both of those off at the same time. 'Cause
Yeah.
Something Wicked just needs sanding cleared. So that would be. I'd like to see that thing all back. I'd like to see it shiny. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
I'd like to
buddy.
see it under my butt.
Yeah, we built the thing in 3 days and never had time to finish the
Yeah.
paint. So you know.
Yeah, that needed 3 or 4 more layers of clear,
Yeah.
and I mean it was a smoke and paint job to begin with. So
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
that was-
I'm not taking any bad.
I
Marks
still
on
haven't
that.
caught up on sleep from that. I remember at one point looking over and Heather was sound asleep sitting at the desk.
That was at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like,
Yeah, I left there that night, went home, went to work. Yeah.
here, can you weed 8 linear feet of checkerboard?
She said weed.
Wait.
Weed. All right, so listen, man. I am Chris from Cycle Source Magazine. It's a little
you
show
sure?
we do every week called Shop Talk. Some news, some entertainment, all that. What can you do? What can you do? Because we're busting our ass to put this show together. Well, first and foremost, apparently, you can tell us if you hear any motorcycle news, because this week there was a big goose egg. Nothing. But more
Underground
importantly,
moto events.
more importantly, what you can do is you can go right now up to the top corner of your screen. You can hit the little like button. You can hit the share button. Make sure you're set up for alerts. Make sure other people know that once a week on Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live with the nation's favorite motorcycle news and information program. Listen, I did that all professional like I'm a big boy.
Wow.
Hey, who wants some music tonight? Let's put a little background music on. Maybe not that loud, but
Oh, Drew Woodford, forest fire filled Cave Creek, Arizona. Drew, is everybody okay? I assume so because you're watching our show right now, but man, we hope everybody's all good out there. We have a lot of people in Arizona that we kind of dig, so make sure you all stay safe.
and I wish you a very Pengo air shifter too.
Christopher.
Yeah.
Inside
So
joke.
exciting.
Inside joke.
Oh, my
All I have-
Mr.
all-
Lichter
hey,
is
All I have
watching.
to say
Right
is this.
Right?
Yeah.
That's where it's at, right
Yeah.
there, buddy.
all I have to
Bonneville.
say.
My Bonneville dreams are
Bonneville
going to
was
come 1 inch close.
canceled.
Listen, if I have to go out there by myself with that motorcycle, I'm riding that fucking bike at Bonneville
Dude,
this year.
you know something? In all reality, it's kidding aside, a little behind the scenes. I sent Chris a text prior to the show here of a 68 Volkswagen Bug, and I said, like it's on this hot rod site at Longwell sale. And I'm like, dude, like throwing it back, like you talk about throwing it back, that's throwing it back. The cool thing would be like to see that thing run, because in all reality, that was the bike that built this magazine.
Oh, yeah.
So now to see that thing, and I've balls out of that thing a few times, and to come down 79 at Sturgis, like I've had that thing to the top of
and
its
that was
game.
before Danny
Right,
Fitzmaurice did
right.
the motor, dude.
So, and let me tell you, nothing could catch me. So, you
Brian
want to play?
Clark just
That's a
volunteered
good
to time
bike.
you in Bonneville.
Nice. See, so we
See,
got
a little
listen.
pressure. Now
it's
yeah.
official now.
Yeah,
if you
now
have
it's
a
on.
timer,
Yeah.
I have a crew chief, a rider, and a timer.
Can
We're
I
ready.
run the Christmas tree?
There's
We
no
could-
Christmas
yeah, but
tree at Bonneville,
It's our
baby.
rules if you're the only bike there.
There's no Christmas trees in Bonneville.
But there can be.
Bonneville drags.
Right?
Oh my God.
Dude, there's an idea.
Wow, who wants to have drag races at Bonneville?
Dude, that
hit us
would
up.
be-
I have a Christmas tree and
Yeah.
I have a bike, so
I wonder,
we
I
need
wonder
one
if you
other
could
bike.
pull that off. I mean, like, what would be the issue?
Ashley
think
Woodford
it-
will be the flag girl.
Nice.
Rich Petoniak, don't you say a word.
You shut.
Drew Woodford, I'm in.
Oh man, so
Dude,
Yeah.
that would be totally
I
badass.
know,
Right?
I know it would. That'd be sick. Can you imagine top
Yes.
fuelers running there?
Yes.
Oh my God, dude.
I think, what is it, like $25,000 to rent the salt flats for a weekend, a week?
Dude,
know, but
that would kill it.
I'm
Right?
Accepting
almost done.
donations.
I'm almost in. Jeremy Sather, that'd be bitching. So listen, man. Like I said, it's a
Steve
little
Royals will come.
program we do.
Oh boy, you're
Look,
Hold
now
on.
Brian
everybody wants to
Clarkson.
do it. Everybody wants to do it,
Hold on a second.
dude.
Maybe that was a bad.
Dave Crum, I'll bring a
Everybody got
V65.
so much shit to do. You know?
All right, so James Emmer's going to bring the booze. Dave Crum's going to bring a V65. Brian Clark's in for drag races. We have
Okay.
a flag girl.
All right, so here's the
There's
thing.
2 bikes already, so
Yeah, here's the thing. If we can get everybody to pitch in and make this all happen, we'll just make it our own time. You know,
right.
that'd be
That's
shit,
how I
dude.
think that's how this shit all started.
That's where it all started for me in all reality. You
Oh
know?
man. So listen, like I was saying, this is something that we do every Sunday. Normally when it's not COVID time and there is zero news, we have, a regular program where we do some motorcycle news, we do some entertainment, we have some great interviews. We started off with a little thing that we call the news.
Noah Ogene has an air shifter that he's sitting right in front of, and he hasn't sent it out yet.
Send it anyway.
So listen.
Tom Banks will sponsor it.
Dude, speaking.
Oh,
Oh my
thanks.
God! Did he just?
Okay.
Seriously?
Listen, wait, now I got to put the news off because the shit just got real. Tom
We-
Banks, if you're
Tom,
serious,
you just caused a problem.
Oh, good Lord.
if you're serious
get a hold of
about,
us.
yeah, listen,
Hands down.
I'm down. I
Yeah.
will totally do Bonneville
is-
drag races.
here goes-
Do you know from a historical standpoint what the hell that would mean to hold drag races at Bonneville?
Yeah.
For Christ's
Dude,
sake!
it'd be nuts.
Oh my God!
I mean, it truthfully.
Oh
this
my
is-
God! Craig said hard drive is in for V Twin in the flats.
Dude, this
Dude.
is seriously something that has to happen.
All right, we're putting it together. That's it.
Tom just said sure.
Listen.
Tom,
All right.
you're crazy.
Oh, Tom.
You crazy bastard, Tom.
I'll watch. You
I don't
need
know.
spectators, and that's the beauty of it. We can bring the whole thing
We'll
to
bring
you live,
bikes.
right?
Craig Mack will bring bikes and sport fans. I'll bring the RD200.
Dude, I'm telling you, right? It's got to happen. So we need to.
Oh my God!
a little group
We're-
talk together here.
Drew Woodford, who just said that the air shifter's on the way. What do you think about this? Everybody wants drag races at Bonneville. If
So-
we put this shit on, are you bringing the Buell Brothers or what's up?
So let me throw to Noah too for a second here with the air, because we were just talking about you, Noah. So I'm going to be getting a hold of you here in next day or two or so. But
Steve Rolls, I'm in for sure.
that air shifter is going to be cool. That started the whole thing.
Oh,
That-
boy. Oh, my God.
That air shifter started this whole rant.
Okay, so back to the news because we
You're
actually
not going to be able to think straight now.
I was just gonna say,
we
like,
actually,
how
dude.
about we just get
Listen,
this, go right back to
Tim
this.
Kearns, I appreciate your enthusiasm, brother. But if you've never been to Bonneville, one of the most
Man.
boring things you could ever watch at Bonneville would be mini bike drag races.
No,
because
wait a
it
minute.
would take like
the
6
bicycle,
hours.
The bicycle, the electric bicycle.
Well, yeah.
That we had to witness. Well, we
Yeah.
kind of witnessed.
Chris,
We were
no,
like-
Bonneville Willie contest. We could have stunts. We could have a stunt competition at the same time.
100% Buell Brothers are in.
We
It
could have
is,
we could have a full-on stunt competition at the same time of the drag races.
Oh well, now.
Are
no,
we
I
allowed to
have a Buell
actually
slip.
have? Are we allowed to actually have a kegger right on the salt?
Oh, hey, I'll tell you, with us in the lead sled trailer, we've gotten away with anything we've ever wanted. So I'm going to say yes.
So listen, this is how this just went in the shitter real fast. We went from historians to hooligans in like 2 seconds flat.
Well, we started.
Wait a minute. Ready? Brian Clock. Hero Koiso is in. It's getting real.
No.
Stop.
Are you kidding me? Dude, we're doing this event.
Like,
I'm
this
telling
is
you right
nuts.
now. If Hero is coming alone, I'm doing the
Yeah.
event. Just to see that cat. Can you imagine him in a flat out drag with somebody?
I'll wear my Evil Knievel suit. Let's see. Anthony Greco, I would enjoy seeing Cycle Source run in the Motorcycle Cannonball or the Motorcycle Choice. Pick your poison.
I'm sure he meant Chase.
Oh,
Listen,
Chase,
Anthony,
yeah.
I would also
We're down
love,
to do it all. If
I would
somebody
also love. We just.
So you can really tell we haven't been out of the house in a while. We just agreed to do everything.
And a few illegal things
Yeah,
on the air
yeah.
with proof for everybody.
Watch this. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Oh, you dirty fucking biker heathens. I love you all. I love every one of you, I swear to God.
Literally from a line to see that bike run on the salt flats to we're going to do drag races on the salt flats.
Oh.
That's freaking sickening.
All right.
See, this is why.
Bill Rodencall can bring a bike from the HD archives.
I
oh
love
my
this.
God.
This is going to happen.
This is why we can't put a group of us all in the same place without causing
cops.
a problem.
Oh,
yeah, right.
I'm sorry. I thought that was going a whole different place in my head.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Let's do some news because there's only one piece. Here it is.
Apparently we just made up our own news, and it's going to be a thing.
Guess what's happening?
So, this is the news for the night coming in from Road Racing World and Motorcycle Technology. Registration open for the 2020 AMA Vintage Motorcycle Days at Mid-Ohio. While so many events are canceling and announcing their cancellations, this comes in from Pickering, Ohio. Motorcycle racers across the nation may now sign up to participate in the 2020 AMA Vintage Motorcycle Days, which are July 10th through the 12th at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio. The annual celebration of America's motorcycling heritage features competition in hare scrambles, motocross trials, flat track, and road racing. Pit bike and hole shot exhibitions are also planned. But you know what they don't have? They don't have drag races on the Bonneville Salt Flats.
No drag races.
That's some shit that we're going to do.
Michael Lichter said he'll be there to photograph
Oh, my
it.
God.
It's definitely.
Okay, who has a helicopter? Because if Lichter's coming, he has to ride. He has to photo this from a helicopter.
Do you think we can? Do you think we can get him on a drone? Hook Michael to a drone.
Oh,
Just get him up there. A couple drones.
Okay.
He'll do
You
it.
wouldn't even need a really big drone.
No,
I mean, he
he's
got
not
a
big
tiny
guy.
ass.
Yeah, he's a little guy. That'd be awesome. We get
All right.
Lichter his own little drone flying around. That'd be freaking fantastic.
Back to the news.
Lichter needs a jetpack.
Say something credible about this, Heather, because we're blowing it.
Because we're
You're
drag
totally
racing.
blowing it. I can't.
Okay, anyway, listen. So for the AMA Vintage Days, and this
off,
is
I
no
love
joke.
Mid-Ohio,
This is one of the most killer events that goes
Yeah.
on. Mid-Ohio is a world-class facility. To register for road racing, visit Wira.com. The link will be up in the page, but you can see it right here. Pre-event registration closes July 1st. For off-road disciplines and flat track, go to secure.tracksideprereg.com. You'll see the link here, and we'll also put it up too. Pre-registration for those events closes July 6th.
Something I enjoyed about Trackside was getting to go there and take pictures.
Oh my
and shit.
God! Right.
Getting up in that tower.
A lot of you guys might not know, but right as Cycle Source went national, we used to do 2 magazines a month. Every 15 days we had a deadline, and the other one, other than Cycle Source, was a magazine called Trackside Report.
Dude,
And it
so
was
cool.
every kind of motorcycle racing.
Yeah.
We would just go to wherever in the country and go to some motorcycle races and go in and talk, and it was trackside. So
Yeah.
it was about the stories and the community
pits.
around the track and the pits and the families and everything. It was bitching.
Dude, we had and Mid-Ohio was one of our favorite places to go. That place is awesome.
Wow.
What?
Lichter is an animal, dude. He just said back to Bonneville. Skip the helicopter. I'll be backwards on the fastest drag bike to stay up front.
Oh, my God. He
Rob
went to
Vita-
that crazy bastard.
Rob
Yeah.
Bitos, what's up? Dude, so
cool.
listen, apparently tonight, right here on this air, we put down the foundation to have drag races at the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Yeah.
The Salt Flats motorcycle events apparently are being canceled this year, and we just put it up as a joke, like who would want to do drag racing out there? And
It wasn't
the
a
crowd
joke,
is
but it
going
turned out
wild.
to be a joke, and it turned out to be real, so it's awesome. I mean, that wasn't a joke. Me, you would have done that at any
Rob
time. No one
Bitos,
else.
I made racing happen. You damn straight. You
Right.
damn straight.
Right.
So,
God, that's freaking fantastic.
What do you got for us,
Let's
Bonnie?
just go right
Well-
to the guest and get this.
well, I'm not sure. Our
We got
first
racing to do.
our first scheduled guest,
Oh boy.
his phone flew out of his pocket while he was riding earlier today, and he can't get it to charge, and it's at like 2%. He doesn't think it'll make it through a Zoom call.
Okay. Ask him to call us on the call-in number on a landline.
Oh,
We can at least do that.
Does he have a landline? First question.
oh.
do you know the call-in number? That's the bigger
No.
question.
Oh, boy.
So I can put it up here for you and not show anyone else so that they don't call in yet. Because tonight, we may actually have some call-in time. See the number right there? See the number right there?
No, I don't. Oh,
Over here.
I don't have my glasses on.
Oh boy.
This is
Okay.
terrible. I have to take a picture of it.
Hang on. Let me put it back up. So, yeah, this is what happens when some bikers get their version of Wayne's World going. It's party time. It's excellent. Wayne's World.
Yeah, that's
Let's
a
see.
great idea.
All right, keep talking while I try and work this out.
Okay, who has a landline?
Yeah, that isn't it funny though that, like, you know, I mean, originally the racing thing, and I mean, we were all into building. Christ, the Shovel had the first bike on the first cover of the magazine. Was probably one of the fastest street bikes I've ever ridden.
Ever, no doubt.
And I raced with a friend of mine, built a bike, and he held the #1 fastest Harley in the world for a few years. A few people that we would run around with remember the bike, but
But
man,
that
to take it
Shovelhead though, that Shovelhead, if you guys are familiar with the name Jim Libonetti and a company called Megaflow, Jim
He was the
hand
man.
built that Shovelhead with
Yeah.
us, and it was
it was
disgusting.
crazy.
Disgusting. It had, what was it, 95 foot-pounds of torque at like 2,500 RPM.
2,500,
Yeah. So like right when you go to grab for the throttle, it had 95 already. It peaked out at 110, but like all of it,
It was
dude,
shearing shearing the chain, the
it was
sprocket
insane.
bolts off. Thing was nuts.
He unfortunately is at his house and doesn't have a landline.
Okay.
So that means we get to keep his secret even longer. We have a secret. We have a secret. Na, 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 na.
I'm
Sorry.
going to play this back for you later on, and you're going to be like, please don't ever let me do that again.
Things I should not have done.
So let me see if we can get our next guest in a little bit early.
There you
but
go.
in the meantime, we have some cool things to talk about. We have
We
two new
do.
shows.
We do. So one of the things we want to bring up right off the bat, if I can get rid of the screen. So you guys have been checking us out here on ShopTalk, and you know, with everything that went down, we did the Cyber Rally. We launched a couple new programs. We actually have one going every week. If you don't know about it, it happens Thursday night Eastern Standard Time at 8 p.m. And it's just a lot of fun. You know, like this show is just about people hanging out in the community of motorcycles. So we do this thing called Bike Night Live. If you would like to be part of it, because we pick 5 or 6 people every week that we invite to be the kind of in studio guests with their bikes and talk about their bikes, and good time. We have, you know, everything from chicken and pizza recipes to
Would you call that being in the virtual garage?
It you know, it's pretty cool. It really is.
Yeah.
Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we go live with that. And then here's something I want to announce brand new that's starting
Bike Night Live
this
is
Sunday.
fun.
This Sunday, we have a brand new program coming up called Cyber Swap. And this is going to be awesome because we were talking about this for so long that the community that surrounded the swap meet was the thing that really took an ass beating over the last, you know, decade and a half. You know, while all of this internet sales and, you know, not saying anything wrong against Chopper Swapper and shit like that. It's great to have such immediate availability to parts and access to people, but the community part of it. So what we're looking to do with Cyber Swap is we're going to have a host that runs this show, bring in, you know, 8 or 10 guys a week that have a part to sell. They're going to put the part up. They're going to talk about what the part is, what they want to get out of it. And then there'll be some new bike sales. And once a show, we're going to have a big ticket item. Now, the big ticket item, let's say it's like a pair of knuckleheads. Those will literally go up in open auction form through the comment box. So you guys will be able to comment in real time, enter your bids, and the highest bidder is gonna take the big ticket item.
The only thing I will say is to do those bids, you have to be on one of our actual feeds. We don't get to see the comments from watch parties.
Yeah.
So you have to be on one of our streams, actually.
To
So
participate, you got to be on direct then, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, like a lot of people have been calling us up and they're like, hey man, you know, how are you making out with all this stuff? And we literally came into the studio and said, okay, you know, with everything, the events are shut down, the magazine is slowed, like, what can we do? What can we do to keep our community together and to keep, to glorify motorcycles and what's going on? We're just going to do as much of this work as we can.
11 a.m. on Sundays? 11 a.m.
10 a.m.
Eastern. Oh, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Eastern.
The cool part about all this is like the bike night, the outside, you know, when stuff goes back to normal, which obviously stuff doesn't go back to normal. This could be something that goes to the events too. They're going to be going directly to bike nights, and so not only are you going to get that feed, but it's also going to be, you're going to get a chance to be a part of it, you know, live right there with it.
And that's absolutely, it's great that you brought that up, because that's the point of it. Like, when we get to the other side of COVID, we're literally going to take this on the road with us, and we're going to look to document some of the greatest bike nights across the country. You know, because who doesn't want to see what it's like firsthand live for a bike night in Times Square?
Yeah,
right. You know
that would be so cool.
So
I called dibs on that assignment.
All that. But listen, all of this stuff, if you want to be part of bike night, if you want to be part of the cyber swap meets, if you want to be in the know, you can literally just go to cyclesource.com. You know, our news blog is there. We keep as much news information going out, but you'll see the buttons for everything, the cyber swap, the bike night, and you can literally just fill out a form real quick. Tell us how you can participate. You know, if it comes to bike nights with cyber swap, you have to tell us a little bit more, like, you know, what part you have this for sale. You have to put some pictures in and stuff, or if it's a motorcycle.
You know, and the nice part about it is this also a connection to for people with parts. You know, it's not only just the cyber swap thing, but just like a chopper swapper and just like anything else, it's going to be there's an availability of parts out there, and this just being maybe another connection for you to get what you want. So, you know, as great as the show is, it's going to be fantastic. The opportunity for, while this show's not even on, for you to be able to see what's coming up and see what's going on, it's going to give you the opportunity to, you know, again, this has all got such a great end to it that
it's very exciting.
You know, this is what these guys do while they're locked up in the house all day long. Us norms, we're screwing off and doing crazy shit.
It's super cool. For bike night, wait a minute, real quick, for bike night, if you want to participate, we're still looking for musicians and people who want to share recipes.
And I think we got the
all
music
that kind
thing.
Of stuff,
I think we got the music thing locked down. If you guys have been watching Bike Night, the music has kind of been, you know, hit or miss with the quality of the audio. We're actually going to take it upon ourselves. We're going to buy a few of these iRig Pre's that will take any audio signal and put it into an iPhone. We're going to send them out ahead of time to the musicians that come on for Bike Night and control that audio a little bit better, so we can get it. Because like this week, Spacey was on. Spacey had some killer songs, man, and his fantastic audio was just too hot. You know what I mean? So we're gonna fix that up, and we'll actually bring Spacey back on for that. But hey, listen, here's something that I can't let go in the news real quick. We have to talk about this for just a second. Back on the 14th of this month marked the 6th-year anniversary of a very, very sad time for a lot of us. Anyone that knew Mr. John Green of Easy Rider Events will remember that 6 years ago, John passing away left a giant, giant hole in this industry and in the hearts of a lot of us. John was one of the best people that I knew in this whole thing. Yeah. He was absolutely my brother, my mentor, you know, my advisor, and just a really, really good friend.
I can't say a bad thing about John. Yeah. I mean, I knew John for years, and like, it was such a pleasure to spend 5 minutes with.
You know, and it's all I can do. Like, on his Facebook page, they're still carrying on comments and memories. And, I mean, 6 years later, and it's all I can do to go there, you know, and read some of that stuff, because it'll go, you know, like 6-8 months will go by and something will happen. Like last year or so, I was at the Cherokee rally. And Cherokee was one of John's shows way back in the day. And I had gone, like, I got up early before everybody, and I got a coffee. I went to the first vendor and talked for a minute because I saw them opening up. Then the second, the third. Pretty soon I found myself the whole way around on the main stage talking to Jay Allen. And I looked at Jay and went, son of a bitch. I said, do you know what I just did? And he said, what? And I said, I just did John Green's morning rounds. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks, man. Like, that he's not there.
Some of the greatest events through those, you know, he made that happen. He was the guy that made it happen. And in the middle of the event, I mean, obviously, you know, if you've ever had anything to do with an event, by the middle of the night, you're ready to commit suicide. You don't want to talk to a person. Normally, none of the three of us are even speaking to each other by that point. And John was always so pleasant. Like he was just.
And he made shit happen. He knew who needed money. He knew who needed a ride. He knew who needed a part. Like he just made shit happen, man.
What a great guy
I have to say that if it weren't for John, I don't know that I would be sitting here right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm serious, for real. I really he was a great gift to us. He really truly was.
So John Green, man, you'll always be missed here dearly, remembered here in the greatest regards, man. Like just hard to believe it's been 6 years. So with that, I think we're gonna get to our first guest of the evening. I'm gonna run the roll and we'll get him on and just get right into it.
Absolutely.
Oh, boy, I'm excited.
So excited.
Okay, here you go. How you guys doing? That's kind of been the general sentiments around the country lately, man. A lot of people are finding out how much they do or do not know about their significant others. So, listen, it's unbelievable that we have the two of you here and we get to share this time with you. One at a time is overwhelming enough, but man, this is awesome.
It's a twofer.
Audio.
My audio.
No, their audio.
Their audio's on. No?
Nobody can hear them.
Oh
boy.
There you go.
How about now?
I think.
Can you hear us now? Oh boy.
There you go. We had lost you guys for a second.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh boy. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh my.
No audio on them.
Oh, you're awesome.
Original paint.
One of a kind, too, it looks. Oh, yeah. So she's the main negotiator. Is that what you're trying to say? That's beautiful. Wow. Yeah.
Everything's working.
I like the bickering between you two. Just keep it real the whole time. It's awesome.
Email?
That was Steve McQueen's bike? Wow. Dude, that's cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I would have left that thing just like it is. That's beautiful. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Should I close my eyes? Oh, nice. Oh yeah, right on. What?
You see the tags on the bikes? I made Pat tag them all because I thought, wow.
Because you like Mini Pearl?
I don't know what's what. So everything's tagged in color
When the virus gets to the Christmas.
Is that the Mini Pearl effect when you put tags on the bikes? Wow, look at that. So dedicating a lot of quality time to these. Wow. Wow, look at that.
Dude, that thing's amazing.
Yes, it is. Wow.
What in the hell?
I need to put it back, have somebody help me put it back together. And he recommended Steve Hunzinger. That was, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't remember. But anyway, I've become really great friends with Steve Hunzinger.
He became our Cannonball guy.
He's been our
Which
Cannonball
bike did you
helper.
ride in the Cannonball?
Well, anyway, this is really like the only restored bike in here. I think I've got one that I restored years ago, but this is the kind of the finest restoration.
Yeah. Which
Here's a 65 pan. It was kind of stripped down. I've been kind of building it into
look at
This is
that.
our
a
auction.
lead sled.
This is our drunk auction bike. I tell you a quick story. We were at a motorcycle auction years ago, but before it was Mika, it was Mid-America, Vegas. And we thought, we'll go to the auction. We were in town for some show. We had a couple beers, and Pat's like, oh, start the bidding on this. I was like, okay. We didn't have any money with us. So he bid on it and he won it. We had to borrow money.
Oh no, I don't have any money to pay for
No, we gotta pay for it.
My friend was at the auction. He loaned me some money.
So you go that way.
Luckily, it all panned out. That thing's beautiful.
Here's your shop stuff. Maybe you want to pan over here, Josh. You got tools and things and then, you know, lace stuff.
Oh,
And then go that way.
a nice scan of your shop
Art.
stuff.
Got one of these prints, the
This is his cave.
Tex,
Oh yeah, right on. That's cool.
a Tex print. Are you guys still with us?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're
This
here.
place is incredible.
He went somewhere, but
Okay. Come on over this way.
101 Scout with a flexi sidecar that I'm marrying this up to this 101 Scout.
Wow.
Slowly but surely, anyway. It's going to be a set eventually. I just think it's a cool thing, and it's kind of close to the same era.
Yeah, right.
Bunch of bikes.
Rob says to say hi to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Josh says hi back to you, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Like
This
I
is one of my
have to,
favorite bikes in the collection right here.
1914 four valve racer, pretty much as race. It's
I like the
again, that was a McQueen bike. I got that at the auction.
tape on the handlebars is so awesome.
Yeah, that's cool as hell.
But that's a really one of the coolest bikes in here.
Your body up.
Yeah,
Man.
he's muted.
Oh,
Do you also do work
No,
out of
I'm,
the shop?
I'm here.
Do you also do work out of your shop too, or do you just collect and play around?
can you hear us, you guys?
Oh,
yeah, we hear
Guys
you.
there?
Everybody hears you.
Yep.
Can't hear you.
No, we.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
Jesus.
there's some audio.
Any questions?
Do you guys do work out of the shop too, or
Columbia.
do you solely just collect and mess with your own stuff?
Yep. 1913 Excelsior original paint. Here's for Lonnie Isom. This is a 1910 Harley that I bought from Lonnie years ago. Probably 40 years ago.
Wow.
35 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
So we are here, guys. We had a couple issues with the audio, so we're going back and forth, and I have to kind of run it in haphazard fashion. So just bear with us.
We're kind of haphazard as it is.
I have one finger on a mute button and one finger on a go live button, and I'm going back and forth, so it's a little nuts.
1909 Indian, I restored this one.
Wow.
Still kind of couple of nuts and bolts need to go on it, but pretty much done.
And then we can go to toys and whatever else you see.
Tell me.
Got lots of toys. I don't know if you like toys at all. We're kind of toy nuts. I was a super toy nut for a long time. If anybody likes toys, I love them.
Those little Nick
Wow.
motors are fantastic.
Dude, I was just saying to Heather the other day, like I started looking around through my stuff, some of my stuff, and I said, I always looked at guys that had stuff like this, and I'm like, how in the hell do you end up with all of that? And it
Yeah.
literally just somehow comes to you a piece at a time.
Yep.
Yeah, he traveled a lot.
I went to a lot of toy shows through the years. The witch on a motorcycle, kind of hard to find. Plastic. I got that on eBay.
Right.
Hard to find. It's, believe it or not, it's absurd, but it really is.
Well, what's the origin of that?
What's that?
What is the origin of that? What makes it hard to find?
Plastic toys. I forget the company. You know, they make this one too. That's a Santa on a bike. A witch on a bike. It's a kind of a well-known company. I forget.
Okay, move on.
But anyway, but anyway, just always wanted it. Finally saw it.
You know, the funny part, looking in that cabinet there.
Not a real expensive toy, but hard to find.
Looking in that cabinet right there, how many memories are there for you? Because you can probably say exactly where you got almost every piece in that cabinet.
Oh yeah, he knows them all.
That's crazy. Like
Yeah,
the
you know,
memories, the places you've been.
I really got into Lehman toys for a while. All these are Lehman, and he made motorcycle toys, which I think are really, really cool.
That's a really cool one, yeah.
Wow, that is badass.
Our kids were little, he would take them out and let them pick one, and they'd play with it, and they'd put it back and pick another one. Now our grandson's looking at this. He was standing up on the sidecar today with his nose up here. He can almost reach it.
These are all wind-ups, you know. I like the tin stuff a lot. I do have some cast iron
It's on the
stuff
other
too,
side.
but
You know, the mechanisms that are behind all of those toys from that era are always just amazing to me.
Oh yeah.
the coolest toy in here, believe it or not, is this little red toy by Guntermann, which is a German company that made toys. Probably in 1910, 15 in there, you know, 10 to 20, somewhere in there. But it's really a rare toy. And that toy is actually from the cover of a book about antique toys, which was kind of a find. It was a guy in England had bought it out of the collection and had get an auction comes.
Ron Hunter's on from Facebook and says that's a name that he hasn't heard in years and years.
Here's a cool, everybody has, or not everybody has one, but a lot of people have seen this Leonard's
What is that, Josh?
merry-go-round bikes.
Oh,
And usually
yeah.
Yeah, right.
I didn't bother restoring this one because I thought the original paint,
That's cool.
original paint is everything these days. But I kept it, original. My tires, I got to find new tires for it. But
This bike was in Easy Riders in 1994. Our son Pat Jr. had a photo spread. Michael Lichter took the pictures of him when he was 4 years old. And I'm probably going to try to do one with our grandson next year.
But I love the foul Indian logo on there and stuff. I just thought, actually, some real motorcycle parts, that's some kind of a cylinder from some kind of real motorcycle. All the rest is pretty much,
I think it's
That's great. And see, I love them most whenever they started getting all metal flake and candy paint.
Yeah, right on.
yeah, that's cool.
but these were on some kind of an arm. They went around in a circle, and the kids sat down and just went around. It's really cool because two kids could ride on it at once. So it's got a really cool buddy scene.
And I like the Gypsy Tour poster. It's like
So a lot of little kids cried because they had to be on the back seat. Is that what you're saying?
that's a cool poster back there. Got some cool kidney belts over there. Little light kid
What is it?
around the library.
Oh, it's old riding belts.
Yeah, right on.
Well, you'll notice there's no Cannonball bikes here because they're all in California. You don't ship stuff back and forth. It's just too crazy. So we keep some of those over there.
Hey, what do you got there, little Smithy?
Library. Okay, Pat added this onto the stairs because we get too much shit. Okay,
Okay.
so go to the library. Come on in.
Into my lair.
You get you in a lair. Usually there's a big whiff of smoke when you come in here. So there's all this kind of doodad stuff and you name it, this weird shit everywhere.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you guys froze.
We're not getting a good connection.
Oh,
Not
there
getting
you
a
are.
connection
No,
here?
we're cutting out.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
beautiful.
Anyway, this is
Panel
Okay.
we've
there.
got a nice little
Wow.
library going on here for
A nice little library.
Just some shit.
what else?
Just literature,
Some cool literature.
weird stuff.
Wow, dude.
Yeah,
See, that's the
that's
kind of
cool.
stuff I like to keep, too.
Yeah, right on.
Pretty deep into the everything motorcycle.
I'd like to know
We
what
bought
Pat's
a
first
collection
bike
years
was.
ago from a guy named Lucky Tebow. I think it was his collection. He was a wall rider, actually.
Dude, what is that vinyl on the end?
Vinyl in the end? I don't know.
Anything motorcycle,
Nice.
the champs. Go,
I like the
go,
stuff
go.
up there.
Right on.
He's got all those little display areas.
Yeah, what is the one on the very end of the second shelf?
The Jiminy Cricket. I mean, there's just weird shit everywhere.
Jiminy
okay?
Cricket.
Michael Parks.
Yeah, buddy. Then came Bronson.
Anyway, this is.
Oh.
Like,
That's apparently the whole room.
I think
vault.
that's, yeah.
got my
It's a vault.
Again,
Yeah. I'm like,
They're gonna.
No.
okay, we're coming out again. Anyway, what else we got?
we're frozen.
Oh, no, you guys are back.
There you go.
Come back up. We okay?
We're back.
Okay. We can show them all the Cannonball stuff. We get the Cannonball stuff up here. Some photos. What she got? What she got? Oh, turn the fan off.
Ask him what his first bike
That's
was.
probably was a little noisy for a while. Got some bicycles hanging from the.
Oh yeah, I've
there.
got some interesting
Gale.
bicycles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gail.
That's a Harley bike.
You missed-
I'm not a real bicycle
We
guy,
skipped the bikes.
but I always wanted a Harley bicycle. So I found this a few years ago. It was kind of cool. Original paint. Try to go for the original paint if you can find it.
People are obsessed with original paint these days, I swear to God.
Yeah, in Tom Banks.
It's the new thing.
Knows. What else you got there? Oh, there's a sidecar, 1915 sidecar, just full, all kinds of Doobie Brothers crap around there.
This is gonna go with with Yaffe one of these days.
When I get too old to kick over my leg.
Chris is gonna do some knitting. We're gonna go cross country. She's gonna knit.
That's it. We got stuff. I know you guys look. Hey, come here. I know what you want to look at. I know what you want. You like to look at this kind of shit. You like to look at the motors. Can you get down there low, Josh? There's some.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh,
That's
boy.
what we like right there.
Now you're talking.
There's some motors under
Anybody
there.
needs some motors, let me know.
There's a
That's a
13 Harley
Yeah.
single.
13 Harley single.
Here you go, Tom Banks. What's this one, Pat?
That's a Thor.
Oh, yeah.
You know, early. That's an early one.
They're such
so,
beautiful motors.
You know, 05 earlier.
Premier
maybe.
stuff
You
for
see it?
the
Mhm.
slot meet.
13
Oh, look at
Harley.
this. This is the original Harley crate here. I think Pat keeps his towels in there. I'm not sure what he's got in there. Rack box.
Is that some of their wartime stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the stuff. Here's a cool photo. 1930 guy in a 13 Harley. I love that picture. It's a really awesome picture.
So we have a bunch of social media questions coming in for Pat. People want to know what bike out of your bikes now do you like to ride the most, and what was your first bike?
Good question.
My first bike I rode some other bikes, but my first bike was a BSA 441 Victor, which was a great bike, still a great bike. A lot of people still ride them.
What do you do with that?
And what was the other question? What's my
What do you like to ride
favorite
now?
bike to ride?
Yeah, your favorite bike to ride out of yours.
The bike I rode in the last Cannonball that I rode on, it was a 28 JD, and
Put the motor.
it's a long story, but I had a 28 motor, a 28 and 29, the same chassis. So in order to qualify for the last Cannonball, I put a 28 engine in it. So since I did the Cannonball, I took the 28 engine out and put a 29 engine back in that I had a California title for. But anyway, that's the bike. Oh, Rob Nussbaum rebuilt the engine for me anyway. So it's a 29 JD, and that really is my favorite bike. I love those old flatheads. They just so much fun to ride, so comfortable, lots of power, just as much as I need. And Rob kind of makes the bike, better probably than when it was originally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, old Rob is something else.
Yeah, you got his shit together.
Put JD jugs on it, man. Those things again can't say enough about JD jugs. They really, really work, and they look beautiful. They just look like the originals. No one would ever know the difference, but just a really great piece of machinery. And Rob did a great job. I love the bike. It's the most fun thing to ride.
So, I have to apologize because we didn't give you a lot of fanfare coming into this for what you are in your other life, but obviously enough people on social media know exactly who you are. And one of the big questions is, what comes first, motorcycles or music?
Oh, well,
good question.
probably music. I've been playing music longer than I've been riding, and it is my passion. And then, I'm part of a great band that, I really have to give precedence to the band kind of before I do anything really, which is why I haven't participated in as many Cannonballs, just because, we're always working, especially in the summertime and spring, fall, summer. I'm always busy, so
That's why you do chase.
been kind of tough for me in that regard. But I love music. Motorcycles, real close second. When I'm not playing, I'm down here kicking tires. So.
That's a story that I love to tell too. Is like how I got to know you from just hanging out on the lot and talking motorcycles and stuff. Yeah. But I've been forever a fan of your music. Oh, yeah. And if we can just for 1 second talk about the music thing, the question I've always had for you about the music that I never got to ask you was, tell me about when you got the gig.
With the band?
Yeah. Yep.
Uh-oh. What happened? We didn't hear you.
Yes, like how did the whole thing with the band start? Was it?
Oh, okay. Well, it's kind of odd. I was playing in a duo, among other things, at the time, with a guy, and we were scheduled to play at a theater one night, and we're going to open for Hot Tuna, Jorma Kaukonen and Jack Cassidy. And so Jorma and Jack didn't show up, so they substituted a band led by a guy named Skip Spence. Skip was in a band called Moby Grape.
Yeah, check them out.
And he also was the first drummer for the Jefferson Airplane, that first Jefferson Airplane album. He played the drums on that album. But anyway, Skip was the San Jose guy, and I knew him casually. We had become friends, and so anyway, we're playing this little club, and so Skip's band was substituted for the Hot Tuna. So we did our set, and in comes Skip with these 3 other guys. So the other guys in the band, it was Skip, Tommy Johnston, who was the guitar player in the Doobie Brothers, John Hartman, drummer from the Doobie Brothers, and a bass player, can't remember his name.
Dave?
No, it wasn't Dave, it was another guy. But anyhow, so that was the band, the 4-piece.
Skip.
So we did our set, and then Skip got up with Tommy and John, and they played. And Tom started singing and playing, and I thought, holy crap, this guy is fantastic, and John is bashing it out. And I thought, man, these guys are really great. And, Skip was Skip. But really, Tommy kind of stole the show. So after it was over, I was hanging out back there, and Skip says, Pat, go over here. I want you to meet the other guys I'm playing with. So he introduced me to Tom and John. I wish I could remember the bass player's name, but it doesn't matter. But so that was how we met anyway. And then we just kind of became friends, hanging out. I would go over to their house and hang out, and we would jam from time to time. And then at some point, they had booked a gig at this club in Santa Cruz Mountains, and they said, hey, Pat, you want to come and play the gig with us? And I said, okay, sure. So we did. And so I played some of my songs. They played, the songs that they had worked out. We actually rehearsed, of course, before we did it. But that was my first gig with the band. And we're sitting around in the kitchen, getting high, whatever. And one of the guys living in the rooming house that Tom and John were living, he goes, you guys smoke so much pot, you should call yourselves the Doobie Brothers. So we go, okay.
You didn't have another name.
We don't have a name for the band, do we? No. Well, we'll be the Doobie Brothers. So we went and played the gig, and we were the Doobie Brothers. That was the first gig we ever played, and so that was it.
Dude, at that point, anything had to be better than hot tuna.
Yeah, right. Anything.
Yeah, or leftover salmon.
So we kept playing. Here we are 50 years later.
Chris played in a band named Tossell and Brown Gravy once.
So they hired. Anyway, I passed the audition.
So I just have to say on my behalf, and Jasmine Kane, who's also watching, every time you said the bass player's name really didn't matter. We both died inside.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know who that is.
Greg Murphy.
There you go.
So it does matter.
Great.
You guys should feel better.
Bass
Jasmine,
players
it'll
are
be
very
okay.
important. We're
Dave
friends with
Sjogren
many
ended
of
up
them.
being our bass player that we did the gig with. And I had gone to high school with Dave, and Dave actually cut that first Doobie Brothers record with us. But Dave was a year younger than I was in high. He was a junior when I was a senior.
So
Go ahead.
In the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah,
It's
we
kinda
were
crazy.
all pretty young.
20 years old or something.
So the other night when I announced that you were coming on the show on Thursday night on Bike Night Live, Chris says I stole his story.
She did.
But I had the same experience he did. I've had the pleasure of meeting you, Pat, several times now, and Chris several times. And I knew you were a Doobie Brother. I knew you were a motorcycle enthusiast. But when Chris posted the video of you playing Blackwater,
That was
that was
so
the first time
badass,
I
by
had
the
ever
way.
actually seen you, like I know the music, but I hadn't seen you play. And I literally sat in my office going, oh my God.
Yeah. Dude, it was my Doobie Brothers.
And I
was
totally fangirled.
Yeah, Doobie Brothers
totally
was mine.
fangirled.
Yeah, same. I was the same way.
We're
When I
going to
said,
do actually a couple more of them coming up. We're doing, actually, we're going to do Jimmy Kimmel in next month. We're going to play Listen to the Music. And then we're doing a song with Dave Mason. We're going to do Feeling All Right.
all right, on.
And who else is going to be? Sammy Hagar is going to be doing that with us. And Mick Fleetwood, Mike McDonald.
Wow.
And then all the guys that did the Blackwater thing.
That was so
all those
great.
Players, so.
Yeah, and like
Alvin, which is Dave's drummer, is going to play some percussion and stuff. So
yeah, that's one of the most awesome things about you is you're so down to earth and you're into the motorcycles and you dig it all. Doobie Brothers was my first concert, hands down, and since then I've probably seen 8 effing million concerts. I worked in the shows and but
still,
hands down, dude,
yep,
you were my first
still.
concert ever and killed it. Like I talked about that for 10 years, I bet. So yeah, it was what an honor in all reality, to come full circle. It's
Yep.
cool to get to hang out with you.
I'm humbled.
No, and we are really though, because
You can't hug, you can't really do this, but you can go,
Yeah, right.
because we're together.
Yeah, in all reality,
Together, they can't do that.
Let's have sex.
Wait a minute. Wait, our son is laughing. You're gonna hear that.
in all reality, we're the ones that are humbled because you started sort of a path for a lot of us, and maybe you don't realize that, but
smoking pot, playing music,
yeah, dude.
riding
Well, I was smoking pot
motorcycles.
then. I was pretty young, but I was smoking pot then. But like music and all that, I mean, played in bands when I was younger, and it was it was seeing that show that made me want to be a part of all that. And then of course the Doobies turned into riding and partying and all that shit went downhill real fast. Then it went to fast motorcycles and fast everything else, but. You started this. This is
Remembers us from What's Happening.
Which Doobie you be?
That'll be our most famous moment.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they
Infamous.
So
too young even know that.
where did the motorcycles start coming in?
Oh gosh.
We met Bud Eakins and all those.
I had a couple of friends that were super enthusiasts, and my BSA I got from a friend in high school who literally gave it to me. He said, "You can have this bike if you can make it run." And I went to get the bike, and it was in boxes. And so I got it, and those were the days when you could still buy a BSA. You can buy them again, but the early BSAs. And so I went by the BSA shop in San Jose. I picked up a manual. I brought that thing home. I had a wrench, a pair of pliers, and a screwdriver. And I put that darn thing together. And it took me a long time to get it running, but I did get it running and learned about Zener diodes, which was a foreign, thing. And, most people have no idea what that is because they don't have it for on American bikes.
Oh, really?
I was 21. But anyway, made the bike run. I had ridden bikes a few times before that, of course, but that really got me over the hump. And then I had another friend who he had a knucklehead he rode every day, and he was there helping me put the BSA together. And so that was it. 1970 is when that was, and then I would say. About 7 years later, I opened up a parts shop in Santa Cruz for old bikes. And that's when the bug bit me bad.
What's it called?
It was called Classic Motorcycles of Santa Cruz. And I stocked parts with my friend, and I opened the shop together. We stocked parts for old Indians, flatheads, Harleys, flathead knuckles, panheads mainly, some shovelhead stuff, but shovelheads were a modern motorcycle. So that was mainly it. And I went and bought a few old bikes. I bought I bought 4 JDs for like $1,500 or $1,200.
Oh my God.
Telling your story.
I put them on the floor of the shop just to have, conversation pieces. And I just fell in love with the aesthetics of the old bikes. And I accidentally, through a mutual friend, met Bud Eakins in LA, scouting, looking for old bike parts and stuff. And Bud was so nice. He brought me into his shop, showed me just like what we're doing here. He showed me all his bikes and walked me through, and we became great friends. And years later, Cris ended up riding Bud's bike
The one I stole from you?
on the Cannonball, and then she rode it on the Chase, the same
34.
bike, 1934 BL.
That's a VD. I always tell people
right.
I got VD from Bud. But
He enjoyed giving her that.
I didn't even know him. I'll tell him your story about how you got that VL from Bud, and he offered you another bike, but you didn't like
I
it.
don't even want to.
Rob Nussbaum will not let.
Pat, I have this 36 original paint Harley. You should have this bike. It's really great. It's white, original paint. It's got you written all over it. And back in those days, you paid $4,000 or $5,000 for an old bike.
That's a lot of money.
I go, how much you want? But he goes, well, I'd like to get 65 for this, 6,500. I go, Bud, that's ridiculous. That's so
orange
expensive. He says, well, I got this other bike, this Flying Merkel, original paint, 1915. Now this is another great bike. You'd love to have. You should have this. Oh, I don't like the name. Merkel. It just doesn't sound right. And it's orange, and I hate that color. How about that VL? I'd rather. That's really cool. Oh, I'd sell you that, sure. So I bought a few bikes from Bud, but I passed up the best bikes that he offered me. Nah.
You sure as hell can try, though. I'll tell you that.
But he was a great guy. But really.
But I ain't my bike buddy, so when I ride it, I ride it. It's a cool bike. I've got some miles. I rode on the 2014 Cannonball, and then Rob helped me do a lot of work on it. We took it down to the frame, found out the whole frame was bent, cams were in sideways. I don't know how that they made it from Florida to where we go to Tacoma, Washington in 2014. Then Rob and I took it down to the frame in his shop and rebuilt it up.
Bud used to drink a lot. So.
Yeah, I'd say. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad he sold you that bike because I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, each one of these bikes, I love to look at them and just wonder who rode them and what the stories are. Well,
yeah, that's the coolest thing. A couple weeks ago, we had Kiwi Mike on, who came in from Australia, and when they very first had Indian flat track races in Australia, the Indian team came over and they brought bikes, and one of the original bikes, as it came off of that track, was sitting in this guy's shop. And just the folklore of like how much time had passed and everything that went on. That was the first flat track race that ever happened. That bike was sitting right there.
Wow.
and that's what I love. I love all the stories behind the bikes,
I think Australia was the second highest marketplace for Indian back in the 20s, 30s. Those were that was a huge marketplace. They loved Indians and did a lot of business there. I think the Zucker books got a little thing dedicated to the Australian enthusiasts. They really loved Indians. So there's a lot of Indians over there still.
Well, now I completely understand why Kiwi Mike's been there for like 4 months.
No, he can't get home.
He keeps
They
saying,
won't let them out.
he keeps saying he's quarantined, but we
that's
think
what he
he's lying.
says.
Yeah.
It's not.
He might be home by now.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he's not.
So listen, in hanging out with you guys, like I've heard the story about how you originally met each other, and Cris, you have a very, very storied and long motorcycle history yourself. But tell everybody a little bit about the time and how how the whole thing came to be, because it's a great story.
on the wall. I don't know if Josh can. This Sturgis, 1989, Doobie Brothers. Josh almost ran into.
I'm okay.
Okay, see the Doobie Brothers poster?
Yeah.
They're up there, and they played in Sturgis, and someone from Harley actually gave us that poster as an anniversary present. But I met Pat. He was playing that show for muscular dystrophy benefit for MDA, and I was doing Harley Women magazine, and hawking T-shirts and magazines in Main Street at 2 a.m. And they're like, "Well, you want to go to the concert?" And I was like, "Not really." And they said, "Well, we had a press conference and left some food," and I was like, "What time should we be there?" But that's why I met that. I met him through some people in Harley Davidson by Fessler, and we've been hanging out, and they had never been to Sturgis before, and we were in Rapid City at the Alex Johnson Hotel where they had the press conference. They wanted to go into Sturgis, and everybody from Harley was jumping on the tour bus, and my girlfriend and I had our bikes there, and they're like, "We do want to jump on the bus." I'm like, "Hell no, I ride my bike." So that little bike over there, and we led the tour bus into Sturgis, and we walked around Main Street for a couple hours and kicked tires and bought some T-shirts and stuff and just hung out. And then the next day, I think, was the concert. And then I got invited backstage, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool," into the show. And then he left town the next day, and I'm in the laundromat doing my laundry, and I'm like, "Wow, what the hell was that?" He's gone down the road. And I picked up a newspaper. He was on the cover of the paper. And I think I called you from a phone booth. I was riding home in the rain, couldn't get a hotel room, and called you from a phone booth when they had phone booths back then. But we've been together ever since.
Who is this?
Do you still answer the phone like that when she calls?
Okay, so some bikes again. What kind of bikes do you want to see? You see these Indians over here? I don't know.
Yes.
Indian
okay.
Belt Drive, which is kind of a cool bike.
Yeah.
Wow.
Only two year, I think 11, 12, and mostly 11. By 12, they phased it out. Nobody wanted a belt drive that rode an Indian, so that was very short-lived.
We found this in New Orleans when we were on
Yeah.
the road in an antique store in the window.
Excelsior
We thought, man, we got to
No kidding, is it really?
use
and
that.
wooden rims.
1917.
Oh, would you say
That was-
wooden rims?
Yeah, wooden rims.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Very cool
Here's a-
bike.
Here's a cool bike that, it's not, probably seen a lot of them before, but this is this one down here is a 41 Indian 4, which is a really cool bike. I actually was on the road, and I picked up a newspaper. We were somewhere in Michigan, and I picked up a newspaper, and it was listed in the newspaper, Indians for sale. And so I called, and they said, "Do you still have them?" "Yeah, we still got them." So myself and the truck driver who drove for the band, we had unloaded all our gear at the show, and we drove the truck out to the suburbs, and this bike was in somebody's garage. So it's one of those, what's in the barn kind of stories. And so I rolled the bike out, looked at it, and I made a deal with the lady. Her husband had passed away. He had restored it. It was the last thing he was working on before he passed away. But kind of my favorite bike to ride of the old bikes, because there's nothing like this front end on these old Indians, these 4s, especially these late model ones. They're just they're cushy, and it's like riding a big old, Mercury or something, Pontiac.
Keely's head just exploded.
No, that's a great description, Mercury.
Yeah.
If anybody who has one or has ridden one knows what I'm talking about. They're just kind of cool. Anyhow, so we put it in the truck anyway. And brought it all the way to California. And I love this bike. It's one of my favorites.
The oldest one we had.
This is the oldest bike I have. It's a 1902 Columbia, which was made by the Pope, who
Not the Pope. Pope Commercial.
the Pope Company, not the Pope.
Hope don't like
It's immaculate, but not that. But anyhow, when the guy who founded Pope Motorcycles, he was a bicycle guy. He raced them, and then he founded a company after he got out of the Union Army in the Civil War. He made bicycles, and this was his first shot at a motorcycle, the Columbia motorcycle. He made 3 different brands. I can't remember. He made Columbia, I think Clement, and one other type of bike. But anyhow, the Columbia was kind of at that time the most successful bike he made. But all the motors were made by gosh, what were they called? I can't even read it.
You'll never see it. Can't see it. I don't remember it.
Oh, the Aurora. A lot of people know that the Aurora Foundry, which was in Illinois. They made all the motors for the early bikes. Not all of them, but a good portion. They made the early Indian motors early on for their first, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. They made Indian motors, but American Motorcycles. That was the other company that Pope founded, and then his son later on founded the Pope Motorcycle Company. But it was his father who started the motorcycle industry there. So
Show them this little Excelsior. Tom Banks would like to see this original paint.
here's a cool original paint Excelsior down here.
Can you see it, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
So while you're moving on to that, David Yule is in the house. I want to let you know, and he says that all those trips to Vegas have been fruitful.
My ugly brother. Oh yeah, here's my. I forgot to pay homage to my brotherhood.
My brotherhood.
I will in a moment.
That's a cool bike.
Anyway, it's a 13 Excelsior. Pretty neat. Check this out. Come on up here, guys.
I want to go there.
Original paint, Tom.
Original paint. Originally
Unrestored
unrestored.
and ugly.
There's a painting back there that's
David sponsored me
yeah.
on David's project. I was his prospect.
Yeah.
So what?
Hey, check out my saddlebags.
Anybody want to buy these?
Hey, I don't know. I've had those for 40 years, man.
Wow.
Check them out, huh?
Yeah, they're cool.
You can't get rid
I
of
used
them.
the hell out of these bikes. I ran these for years, and before my son Josh here was even born.
That's how I used to gauge everything for its usefulness, how much rain it keep out, and how many magazines I could get in.
Yeah.
Well, I got those too.
Hey, that's a cool
Hey, you want some
collection.
magazines?
Oh, look at that!
Wow.
Cool.
Look at that, David Crosby. Wow, I forgot about that.
Oh,
This way, Grace was pretty cool. Yep, there it is. Chris can attest to this one. There's all buying my boxes of old Harley Women magazines back here.
That's cool.
barn sale.
Hey, I'm down. I'll take them. That's history right there, buddy.
We'll pick
See
them
that?
up when I
There.
take you to Hawaii, or when you take me to Hawaii.
Kidney belts. I won that kidney belt, Moonlight Kid. I won that at an auction.
Original.
And actually, there's one that actually has my initials on it. But we bought it. But really, those are my initials, but we didn't buy it, knowing it was that. What's that?
Effie's original tanks.
Oh my God! Now we're gonna get down to it. Here's Effie's original 1915 tanks that leaked like a bitch.
Original paint,
Yeah,
kind of.
Kind of. Decal's a little weird. Hey, here's something cool. Here's a 1915 toolbox. Is this original paint toolbox?
That is original.
Was this like a birthday present?
No,
Oh, I
For
thought you
me.
bought it for me.
That would have been the
Okay,
excuse
never
at
mind.
first, but
And then we have all kinds of weird shit around here. We just have shit everywhere. Our son's musical equipment and, stuff. Like everybody else, we got stuff. Any other thing you want to know about? Oh, posters, pets, Cadillac shit.
who knew that Betty Davis and Ernest Borgnine were bikers?
Yeah, buddy.
that's cool.
Oh. What else we got, Pat? There's the tools. Anyway, I think you've seen pretty much what we had here. We can't get into the library because I think the signal was too bad.
We might be able to because you
Want
you
to try to
turned
go in the
off- you
library
turned off
again?
the mic.
Do we have any more time?
Oh yeah.
It's up to these guys.
No, absolutely. We're loving this.
Tired of us?
Are you sick of us? Cannonball memorabilia. Yeah, I rode. The one I didn't ride was 2012, but I was the Angel of Death sweeper crew, picking up all the dead bikes. Kind of interesting. And then he has. Oh, you're gonna show you some more toys.
Hey,
Oh, that's not a motorcycle toy, but it's one of his favorites. We can't show the Strider, but
I used to scare my kids.
dude, you have a wind-up cockroach. That's so awesome.
it's a fly. Check it out.
Oh,
Oh, that's fantastic.
where in the hell did you get that?
Oh. Remember that one, Josh?
No.
No, you don't, but you did when you were little. Oh, man.
Josh is like, yeah, every Thursday I bring it back up to my therapist, Mom. Thanks.
We can try this.
Yeah, we can try again.
Ah,
Go back in here if you want.
Mhm.
Here's the original 1914, 1915 license plate. You getting the signal in here, Josh?
Yep, it was hogging our bandwidth.
Oh, okay. And there's stuff in the case there. There's some cool stuff over there in that case. That picture up there's pretty awesome. Oh, there's just stuff everywhere. There was David Yule stuff everywhere too.
That's good stuff to have everywhere.
Yeah, right?
Man. There. I mean, we got weird shit. We got Boom Boom Mancini's gloves, okay?
We're freezing out again.
Why they, oh,
We can't come in here for some reason. It's too far away from the router.
Yeah, we'll go back out. Okay.
Look at that.
Oh my God, you guys are killing us with this. I have to, I have to come see your place in person.
You have to. Yes.
we'll go surfing.
Yeah.
I'm
Tell
down.
them. Tell
Listen,
them
well,
what my plan is.
Yeah, so I'm turning 50 this year, and I have one left of the 50 states. So I have to come there this year.
So
There's a few of us here. You know, Noah. Noah's here. Noah's
Yeah.
got that speed
Yeah.
shifter for you. I could just go get it for you, you know. He
We
can't get off his butt to send it to you.
I've told him numerous times we were going to come over and just get it real quick. So
so
Rob was here.
Rob was here right
Couple
before
months
the virus hit. He actually got a vacation in and he went all around the island and he had a good time. And then as soon as he left, everything hit the shit hit the fan, you know. Rob and Beth were
As
here.
soon as he left, my wiring went haywire in my bike, and he wasn't here to fix it.
maybe he
Help
did
me
it on
fix
purpose to see if he can come back.
George Banks wants to know where Gumby is. Isn't that at Rob's? Is Gumby at Rob's?
I don't know why I didn't want to bother him having him turn wrenches while he was
Yeah,
here.
they were having too much fun.
I should have, because
They were
he's like the
driving
best.
everywhere. Having a great time. But
Next time.
So we have a couple people on social media that are asking if you guys are doing Cannonball this year.
I'm not.
I was, we were both signed up, and then I was told we're doing a Doobie Brothers 50th anniversary tour,
All over the world.
and Mike McDonald is coming on the road with us, and then so I canceled the Cannonball, and then of course,
And I canceled because he canceled because I did the chase without him and I felt guilty.
but then the tour's been postponed, so
Yeah.
kind of blew it, but whatever. We'll see what's going to happen with the Cannonball. We don't even know yet, but I think Jason's pretty determined.
Well, they'll do something. They'll do something. If not, they'll postpone it and do something else, you know, but I don't know. Maybe I'll go. I hear children upstairs. Sorry if you can hear that. There's a 3-year-old and 2 5-months.
There's a Rugrats up
Cris Simmons
on the
voice.
ceiling.
We hear them upstairs. I don't know if you can hear them.
You can all.
I'll never know. Maybe we'll do some. I'll hang out on the Cannonball and pick
Kiwis
up
here.
dead bikes again or something. Give people a quiz. The quiz was so popular in the chase. Everybody loved it so much.
Yeah, we would
Good.
consider doing
Do something.
being helpers.
It would come along. Maybe do something. Other kind of ride. I don't know yet.
Have I mentioned bell bottoms and bedrolls to you guys?
There you go. Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah.
We want to do a motorcycle cannonball version of 70s choppers.
Yep.
All broke ass chopper kids and staying in campgrounds.
Oh
Yeah, that's the way to. Well, that's how I was raised, and doing all that stuff. Slash slept on many a picnic table. That's why I wake up in the morning and I turn over him. I go, "Are you really sore? Is your back all like?" I wake up and I'm just like, I think it's just too many miles on the old bike, or I'm just getting old or whatever. But
too much life.
Yeah, not me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Australia, Mr.
boy.
Kiwi Mike is in the house, and he says, "Okay, enough of the junk. Show me the good Indian stuff. Hurry up."
I told you he heard him talking about that Indian riding like a Mercury, and
I've never really counted.
Yeah, for sure.
There might be more Indians. Kiwi.
are you still is Kiwi still in quote unquote lockdown?
Here with a thorn in the middle.
There's 2 Indians there, another Indian there.
Watch your head, Josh. Yeah, that's a cool bike. And then watch out when you get up. And then the one on the bench, the racer.
Dude, up on that handlebar.
Kiwi bike. Watch your head.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
9
got
Indians.
a helmet.
Okay.
Oh, I got a helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some.
We got a few more bikes in California at my mom's place. Like I said, mostly the Cannonball bikes, and a few on loan, a couple museums. But this is the family right here,
Yeah, buddy.
right now.
That's a hell of a collection
No.
you got there.
Pat, Rob Nussbaum says Gumby has a message for you, and he would like you to guess what it is.
Who's that? Say it again.
Rob Nussbaum says Gumby has a message for you, and he would like you to guess what the message is.
I know. It's go fuck yourself. Is that it? You said it to me?
Oh,
Or it's
not what I
something about
expected.
Gumby, because I'm all about Gumby. Or
Who's
what
the
do you say?
decider?
Who's the decider? He's the decider, but I'm the boss girl. Rob calls me boss girl. I don't know why. I'm in the Cannonball. I'm a little, Rob, can you do this? Can you fix this? Because I'm really tired and I'm nasty and I'm whiny and I'm hot and I'm tired. Whatever. But
It apparently
he decides
works.
stuff, but I boss everybody around. But Rob's great.
Apparently.
We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with Rob. Actually, you do the Cannonball with somebody and you're still friends with them. As you guys know, being on the road sometimes for a couple of weeks, you get a little crabby. And, Rob and I, we're all still really good friends. And, it's
Rob's
good.
the crabby one.
Yeah, I could tell you something about Rob. So we have a lot of fun with Rob. And Holy Cannonball family, everybody. Missy, I know you're there. Probably Tom's watching, and Joe Sparrow, those guys. Joe Sparrow saved my ass.
Someone wants to see the ace.
Want to see the ace?
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead, Josh. Turn it around. Ace is cool.
Probably from over
Look
here.
at that.
Yeah, the motorcycle.
Dude, that thing is so awesome.
Yes, it is. And yet again, the story behind it's as awesome as the bike.
Yep.
It's in a McQueen book somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah. What was his? Barbara Minty. Yeah, Barbara Minty was his wife at that time. There's pictures of Barbara riding in the sidecar.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is a fantastic motorcycle too. It runs really great.
Yeah, good job, Josh.
I really have left it alone. I didn't do anything fancy with it. No, I've run it a few times, and
Man, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
Does everything run?
It's
Can you
beautiful.
ask?
I don't know, and that'd be this is a good question for the viewers out there. Bud Eakins told me that's the only original Ace sidecar in existence. That was what Bud said. He
Wow.
said any of the other ones that turn up are Indian sidecars and stuff. Now, I don't know. I would like to know. I've seen tubs before. I've never seen the whole chassis and a complete car like that. But that was Bud said. Bud was kind of full of shit sometimes. But generally he knew, he knew the old bikes. So
Okay, so I have to ask a question. Was the full of shit, did that coincide with the drinking or on the off drinking?
no, that he was just
used
It was a natural condition. Now, Bud was so cool. He's such a good guy. I mean, I met a lot of other really great people through Bud. Mike Partee was another guy that I met through Bud. Trying to think. That's it.
People.
With thinking, or who you can think of?
Mike Egan.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Egan too?
Well, around the same time period, I met Mike Egan, another wonderful guy. Yeah, the antique and modern.
All the old people.
Yeah, they're all real old
They're gone
people now, you know,
yeah.
or gone.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bud was one of a kind for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And a great racer. He and his brother were like fabulous, you know, racers, endurance guys. You know, they were incredible. So he did more than just collect motorcycles. And then he's the guy that did the Jump in the Great Escape, and he laid the Harley down that went underneath the semi-truck in the Blues Brothers movie. If you ever, that was pretty
No
amazing.
Yeah,
kidding.
that's cool.
Really?
Guy in a cop who went underneath the truck. That was Bud.
And Bud actually influenced Lonnie Jr. to do the Cannonball. I think that was one of Bud's dreams, was to have people ride across the country on these old bikes. And I think Lonnie told me
that's
one
right.
time that Bud's
That's
the
right.
one who planted the seed in his head to do the Cannonball. So that's pretty cool, you know. But,
So, Pat, do you actually have the one that got away? Is there actually one that got away from you over the years?
Nothing that I purchased, but there's a lot of bikes that have gotten away, of course.
oh yeah, we saw one at Bottoms a couple years ago.
Yeah, no, tons. Too many to
British, mostly British stuff.
But is there that one bike that like has always been on your list? Like, that's the bike you want to have someday, that's always in the back of your head?
You got the Ivory.
Well, you know what I really like to have, and I was just offered it, but at the wrong time, is first edition or first era of the Indian 4s, you know, the 401s. I always liked that bike. It's basically
The Ace.
the Ace,
Yeah.
only made by Indian the first year.
Yeah.
Indian kind of did their own redesign a little bit in 1928, but I've always admired those bikes, and I love the way they sound. I love the way they run. They're a light kind of sport version of the 4, and they get up and go. You know, Doug Feinsod rode one in the last Cannonball, and he did really well, and the bike ran really well for him. So I really love those bikes. They're really cool. I love the Popes. I've never owned a Pope, you know, that
Seen a few.
the 15, 16 Popes. I really think those are wonderful motorcycles. I even like the single, the overhead valve single that they built. I think is a really great
Careful,
bike.
don't knock over my Strider. Knock it over. No, Marilyn, look,
Easy now.
There's going to be a
look, I covered it up. Okay, you can see a little bit.
The Strider police will get us.
Look, you ready?
Ooh.
Oh, what's that?
Oh.
Nice.
Oh boy.
That's all I'm showing.
So let's take a second, at least talk about this. You can't show it because there's a big reveal coming up, but tell everybody about this.
Well, they're, you know, the Strider build is a thing for the Flying Piston benefit for all kids' bikes to have Strider, get money to raise money to put Strider bikes into schools and help kids learn how to ride Strider bikes, because most kids don't even know how to ride bicycles anymore. Can you imagine? When we were kids, that's all we did was ride bikes. So they've asked, I think, 13 women this year, plus Ron Finch, because Ron saw a bunch of people doing it last year at the Sturgis Hall of Fame breakfast, and he wanted to build one, so they told me he could. So I think it's a bunch of women, Savannah, all kinds of people.
Didn't Ron have a?
Ron Finch?
Yeah, didn't Ron have a?
He does that crazy stuff.
Right, I thought he had a sex change or something, didn't he?
No.
It'd be about the last damn thing for him to do crazy.
Nice try. There's a bunch of women building them anyway. I had fun, and I had a lot of help. It wasn't just me. I had help doing it. But I can't unveil it because we have to do it at the proper time. I'm going to ship it off to Sturgis tomorrow. And but I had fun finding parts for it and had help make some stuff. And then Steve Hunziker helped me with some special surprise things. And Rob was here, so he knows.
And they're gonna, what are they gonna raffle them? Or?
They do auction them. They auction them for
And
charity.
the money is gonna go to.
And the money goes to help support the program, the Striders, the All Kids Bike program.
No, and it really is a fantastic thing that the people at the Buffalo Chip put on the Flying Pistons that goes in conjunction with the Motorcycles is Art, and you know, this whole program that they've worked together with the people from Strider and the Hall of Fame to raise money for these Strider programs across the country, to bring them into classrooms, and it's fantastic.
It'll be on display at the breakfast. It'll also be at the Hall of Fame breakfast. I think it's usually on Wednesday in Sturgis. And then some of them go off to Meekum in January to get bid on. And I don't know, it's going to be hard for me to let go of this bike. I get so attached.
Now wait a minute. She's in a room full of nearly priceless vintage and antique motorcycles, and she's going to have a hard time giving up the Strider.
Well, but wait a minute, though.
Strider.
But
you know, we'll see. I mean, you know, we bought Jesse's last year, Jesse Combs' bike, and
oh, did you really?
Pat bought it for me.
That's
but
awesome.
then we let Jill Parham take it for the museum. They're going to do it as a display for Jesse. Jesse was a good friend, and she inspired me. We talked about this. I told her, man, I want to build one now. I said, I can do that. You know, and she just, you know, really encouraged me.
Yeah, she was somebody special, that's for sure. And,
now, wait a minute. David Yule is coming back, and he said, are you hiding a Cyclone in the deep stash?
Nah.
No. I wouldn't have one of those things.
No, you know, oh, Josh, look at your project from 8th grade. Here's our cameraman's project from 8th grade.
Oh,
you just have to keep it.
That's awesome.
That's Pat. I mean, we keep everything. Oh, yeah. I think he must have had help. I think we brought a bike in my minivan. Josh made these boards up with a little help from his mom and dad. And then we brought, was it this bike? I can't remember which one. We put a 12 or 11 in the minivan. We took it to school and blew the kids' minds. But it was kind of fun.
We have an Iver that's in Anamosa at the National Motorcycle Museum there, which is another bike that I've always dreamed of. And at the coal auction, how many years ago was that? About 3 years ago, or something like that. Came up for auction, and we bid on it. And we're lucky enough to, you know, our friends were lucky enough to let us have it.
See that sign up there? The motorcycle halfway. That's from the first Cannonball, from the 2010 Cannonball. I had my crew stole that off the signpost in Texas, and I ended up with it. That was the halfway to California Motorcycle Cannonball sign. So.
That's so great that you stole the sign. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, we got so much crap around here. I wish you could go in the library, but every time we go in the library, we get the glitches. So we can't go
Maybe
in the
when
library. Did you look at something? How much time you guys
squirrel
have?
out.
We got as much time as you guys want, man. This is so awesome that you're doing this with us.
Shit,
We're
man.
good. We're good. Close.
See if Josh can swarm in on there. He spends a lot of time in here. Awesome book.
Got some cool books.
There you go. People were asking.
Oh, nice.
Anything more? But
Everybody's probably seen this before, yeah.
those are the
These are the
stamps.
cigarette cards,
Wow, dude,
That's
really?
English cigarettes.
Yeah.
Anything motorcycle, we love it.
Yeah, that toy up there is pretty cool. That one, the big one.
Yeah, Pat, I've seen that before in books and shit.
Toy, which is
Glitching.
No, you're okay.
Look at that.
I'm on the edge. The edge of this.
Really interesting. Some cool games in here. All of these games. You know, original Motor Mag's old patch in there. You see some of my stuff in here too. Not all his.
That dirt track game is bitching.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, is that game cool? Look at this one right here, Josh. That's cool. Oh, there's my AMA Hall of Fame medal. Yeah, stuff that in there. There. It's actually kind of clean in here. It actually, our daughter's an archivist, and she came here one day, and we started organizing, and she just drives her crazy to come
One
home.
step too far.
She just you go up to this one. It's so cool.
Wow, what's the story on that Motor Maids patch?
Some race stuff, some old stuff. Anyway,
Junk.
treasure.
Boston Cycle Oil. Did you see that, Heather?
Yes, I did. That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
Mom, do you have your book? Someone wants to see.
my book. Oh, I don't know if I have any of those around here. Maybe that might.
Over in the,
Oh yeah, I have a whole box of them. Which one?
I don't think we keep it in
There's a
here.
Cannonball book over there.
Dude, I love the hats.
Yeah.
Those old club riding hats are the cat's ass.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we love it all. We love it. Anything motorcycle. It's a sickness.
Yes, it is. Look at her digging through. She's like elbows flying.
Oh, this book.
There you go.
Shameless plug. I happen to have a few of those. Get on my website. What is it? Cannonball.
Today
Chris?
only.
Cannonball
On
Chris.
sale.
No, I work on it.
10% off.
What's the website?
What's the website to go get one of those? Can you get them through Amazon, through...
Me better than Amazon because I sign them. Just Cris.com. Cris without the H. CRIS.
That's what I was going to tell you, that I actually happen to have a copy of that that's signed. I don't know if you know that, Heather, or not, but...
Well, that's nice. You know what? I have to say, do you remember when I did the book signing in Rapid City years ago when the book first came out 5 years ago?
Yes.
And somebody said, let you do a book signing at Borders in Rapid City. And nobody was there. And then someone walked in and it was you. And you're the only one that came to my book signing.
Didn't we go there? I remember going
Yeah,
there.
buddy.
And I just fell in love with you then. I thought, Cris Callan, you're a class
I
act.
think I remember that story.
It's really kind of you. Thank you.
And then right after, she was like, loser, hustled me out of a book and made me sign it.
What?
I said then right after, you were like, loser, hustled me out of a book and made me sign it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I've still got some of my old magazines in here. You know, my background is magazine. Like, you know, that's why I love what you guys are doing. And I can appreciate what it's like to put out a magazine, even though I did, you know, every other month with like 2 people. You guys are probably doing every month with 2 people, 3 people. I don't know how many people you have now.
No, but listen, you were truly a pioneer. What you guys were doing with that, I mean, to do a Harley Women's magazine in a year. When did that thing start?
1985. Oh my God, look at this. Here's the first issue. 1985. I think I have 5 of these left.
Wow.
We went up to Harley with his little storyboards and see the little R. They gave us the permission for $1 a year to use their name because they liked what we did. And they bought an ad. Where is their ad? I mean, look at the photographer. There's the ad. Wow. This is 1985, okay? That's when the 883 came out. I was actually at a meeting with Willie G. and Vaughn Beals and helped him design the 883. A lot of people don't know that, the Hugger.
$39.95.
And that was the year you could trade that in a year, right?
No. But this is our very first issue. Joe, my partner Joe and I, we used all our own pictures and pretty, you know. But I had a printer on my route. I delivered mail. That was my daughter. And I had a printer on my route, and he let us staple them together. He gave us $200 off. So we stapled each one of these issues with a little hand or a little foot stapler
That's great.
for the second
Dude.
issue. But we grew and grew, and it got really grown up. But I did it for 5 years. That was enough for me. But it kept going. I mean, it's still going. Now it's called Women Riders Now. It evolved into an online magazine. It was Harley Women, then it became Asphalt Angels, then it became Woman Rider. Genevieve Schmidt took over. And then she had a website called Women Riders Now, and they're still going on. So it's pretty cool that our dream lives on, and I'm really happy that someone's still doing it. And it's not me.
So listen, I have to share a story with you because you said that about stapling the magazines together. Early on with Cycle Source, I would literally go to the printer every month, glue down my separation pages. I would do, my lucite overlays, the whole bit. Well, one of the first issues early on, I tried to do a spot color for the phone number of the magazine, and I was so desperate for business that the spot color didn't print on that page. I sat at the printer and I hand stamped the phone number of the magazine on 2,500 copies. Just like, please God, I can't have 1 month without the phone number in there.
We ended up with 12,000 subscribers, and I remember I still worked at the post office, don't forget, full time delivering mail. And that's where I got the idea for a magazine. There was nobody doing a women's magazine. It was all, Easy Rider or one of those other magazines were, kind of not really for lady riders as much. But, we did the magazine, and I printed up the labels. I took them to the post office. I mailed them all. I mean, we did everything. Put the stickers on. And sold the ads. Called up people trying to sell ads, and half the time they just laugh at us, or hit on us, or all the above. But yeah, it was a different time, that's for sure. But I met a lot of cool people.
Oh, the old days.
Do a lot of fun things. And I guess I wouldn't have met you. If I had the magazine, I probably wouldn't have been there.
There you go.
There you go. So, yeah. I mean, that's why I went at the concert.
Yeah,
They're there for food.
Oh, food. Story.
Was Pat a condiment?
I think I made you write the article because I was shy.
That's right, I wrote the article.
There's an article in the Doobie Brothers, one of those issues. And you wrote it because I was embarrassed to ask you questions.
That's
so
great.
Yeah, he did actually send it to me. Anyway.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's funny. We've been together. It'll be 31 years this year, I think. 31 years. Yeah, I've been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it seems so much longer.
Yeah, forever. My son building this.
I'm starting.
And kids, how weird is that?
I'm starting to realize myself what exactly I said when I said "till death do us part." I'm just starting to sink in right now.
Yeah, well, he's not getting rid of me.
Oh, the truth is though, you guys are two of our favorite people. It makes perfect sense. Like when you get to know the two of you, it makes perfect sense that you guys are together. Like it's awesome to see you. The energy that you bring to the crowd just being around is incredible, and it makes sense.
We have a lot of fun. We like the same things, and
we're pretty lucky.
Yeah, I mean, he found the right person. I found the right person, and I wasn't really looking. I think that's what happens, but it was fun, and it was all because of motorcycles. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have. I always liked the Doobie Brothers, but I couldn't have told you any of their songs much, really. A couple maybe.
It was just the soundtrack of our entire childhood, for Christ's sake.
Pretty much.
I mean, now I remember, being 16 and listening to Black Water and, stealing my mom's car and going out, the windows open, singing Black Water. I do actually remember that. I remember a few things about, Purdy and never mind my sons.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Well, listen. We're going to let you guys go because we've been monopolizing all kinds of your time here. But thank you so much on behalf of the whole audience that is watching tonight. Thank you so much for taking this time with us.
Definitely.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, everybody out there.
Hang in there, okay? We'll get through this.
Yep.
It's all going to get better.
This was definitely a
Be
pleasure.
patient.
That's
Be
for
kind.
sure.
Absolutely. And we'll see you guys on the road. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
How great, dude. How great.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That was so rad. Like, just saying.
Go ahead.
Real quick before I forget, David Yule, will you please come on our program?
Yes,
You're watching. I have to invite you
please.
now. I just would love to hear some of your stories and
Your
where
turn.
your inspiration comes from. So please get in touch with Cris. We'd love to have you on here. We just had Pat and Cris together on the show, and we're going to Hawaii, and I'm gonna literally camp outside her front door until she shows me around the joint. Just saying.
So I just want to.
What'd you shoot me for?
No, I want to send this out to anybody that was responsible for Windows 10 and the fucking operating system that runs the audio. There you go. There's another one. I'm gonna give you one more time. Thank you, Windows 10. Sons of bitches.
Worked out perfect.
Bumpuses, sons of bitches.
Serenity now. How about him passing away this week?
I know.
Yeah,
We
that's
talked
pretty
about that on was it Bike Night? We talked about that, or
Yeah.
last
I don't
week's
know.
Shop Talk?
Last week's Shop Talk. That was such a cool show. Like,
It really was, and we appreciate, like, I actually, when I know somebody like Pat, or even Cris for that matter, because Cris is literally like in our industry, in our history of
she's
motorcycling,
amazing.
she really is. And when you have friends like that, like the last thing you want to do is lean on your important friends and be like, hey man, will you come on our show, or we do the interview and stuff.
I know.
So
and actually the cool part about that is, like, some of these people, you meet them in the first time. Like Pat, I didn't know who he was. I had no clue who Jim Root was the first time I met Jim. You don't even know who they are, and that may become part of the reason why we become such good friends.
Yep.
It's about who they are.
And remember him coming and hanging with us at the Limp Nicky lot and shit, dude. Like, it was just,
I know.
he was just so cool. He was just so cool
and
hanging
he's
out with Pat.
Like, he's so laid back and quiet. And then, like, I wasn't, like, I knew the name. I had, heard it. And again, one of those things where I watched it and I went, no.
And then on top of that, he put up with us from the Limp Nicky lot.
Oh, I know, dude, because we were a handful, boy.
You were our friend for life if you came back the second time.
Oh, so there's so much more to talk about in the weeks coming up. But like I said, we
have Bonneville Salt Flat drag races to plan now.
We're gonna start working on that.
Exciting.
One more time, I do want to send a heartfelt in memory of and tribute out to our brother John Green, who on the 14th of this month we're celebrating his 6th anniversary of John passing. John shaped what motorcycle events were for our whole generation. He was the caretaker of part of the history, culture, and community in this thing, and his void will never be filled.
Yeah, if you enjoyed an event 15 years to 7 years ago, John Green was probably responsible for making you have fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So lots of stuff coming up. We told you guys tonight about the cyber swap that we're going to be doing on Sunday. That starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. We're going to be doing some, guys from around the country that have a part to sell, a couple bikes for sale, whatever. It'll be kind of cool. It's different. In line with the new world of virtual and cyber, we're going to do some part trading. So come check us out for that. And I think
Bike Night Live Thursday.
Go ahead, plug it, baby, plug it.
Sheesh. So every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, come hang out with Pat Jansen, myself, and Missy for Bike Night Live. We try to bring in some cool musicians. This week we actually have our dear friend Robert Wagner out of Austin, Texas, who's going to be entertaining us. Mr. Billy Grotto is going to be cooking for us again and sharing one of his killer recipes. And hopefully we'll get a couple cool people from around the country, around the globe. You're welcome to come hang out with us. If you want to do that, go to cyclesource.com, click on the Bike Night Live button, and just fill out the form, and we'll get you hooked up to hang out with us live on Thursday night at 8 p.m.
Mark, any inspiring words?
Shut up. No, I have no inspiring words.
Rob Nussbaum, are you trying to kill me?
What I do is the fact that we just did a whole show with a dude that, like,
the Doobie Brothers.
Sort of like on top.
You guys are killing me.
Dude, I mean, like, I'm telling you, it was my first concert. I think, as we were all talking about that, if I'm not mistaken, we may have went to that concert in a stolen car.
Hey,
so,
you know what the coolest thing here is, though, is like the power of the crossover between motorcycles and music, right?
Oh, it's
something
awesome.
we talk about with Xavier all the time. a lot of people don't know that the reason why Xavier ended up in this company of misfits, miscreants, and fools is that he used to stuff used motorcycle parts in the belly of the tour bus all the time. He was a motorcycle idiot the whole time he was out on the road. It only makes sense that this has happened generation after generation, right? So,
in that, like, the transition from musician to rock star to musician, it was a step down, which makes us love Xavier more because he stuck with it. So, you know, he didn't run when he found out, dude, it's a freaking job and a half. So, which is awesome. So
in spite, go ahead.
I'm mad at Rob Nussbaum right now.
Why?
He's like, we want more shows. He's trying to kill me.
We got more shows coming up. Hold on. We got shit that we're going to answer. We're going to answer another one of them tonight. We're going to let you know about it, but
it's
we
a
can't.
secret.
We can't yet. Look for it this week. Look for an announcement this week of a new show. I do want to take a minute and thank the people from Dennis Kirk for helping us put this incredible studio together. I want to thank the people at Choppertown for helping us build this incredible network. I do look a little green, and she's pink, and he's black and white. Why you got to bring all this color up, Chris? What's up? I mean,
why is it always about color?
Why is it got to be color? Can't we all just get along?
Can't we all just get along?
So, thanks to everybody for helping us put this stuff together. It's an awful lot of fun for us, and it's a great honor to do this every week. In spite of a couple audio glitches, we had a killer show tonight with an amazing guest. I want to thank both Pat and Chris for that. And I think we're hitting the pass mark, right?
Yeah.
Puff,
I
puff,
think
pass.
Puff, puff, pass.
Puff,
Grandma.
puff, pass.
Puff, puff, pass. Don't be shy.
Heather, you know what that means? Puff, puff, pass.
No.
Boy.
That means it's not your turn. Give that
Give
shit
it
over
up.
here,
You did it
man.
once. Give it
Come
up.
on. So listen,
Don't
I'm
be
Chris.
Bogart.
I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine. Until please, not even your mother just fell over right now watching me do that. I'm Chris from Cycle
She
Source.
knows I'm the
Next
big one.
Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live with another episode of Shop Talk. And until then, I can tell you guys, until then, same time, same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Peace. We're out.
Puff, puff, pass.